summary of my August Biomedical Artist newsletter. This month, it is also a little bit late because the summer is a time of vacations and I have an intense job search and wanted to prepare better, and therefore it's towards the end of the month. But better late than never. This month I will discuss in the newsletter fashion and whether fashion is art, because I love fashion just like many other people do and think this is a fun and interesting question. And another topic that I will bring up in the newsletter is the amazing health benefits of ballet and dance for people with autism, just as one of the health benefits of ballet. And I will say a few words which will be accompanied by the newsletter and some pictures and links to other articles. This is just my opinion based on my feelings, experience, and what I have been reading, and I welcome your opinions because in discussion maybe we will understand things better. First, is fashion art? Well, when I look, some famous fashion designers claim that it is not art, such as Karl Lagerfeld. However, I have included a link in an article from the Metropolitan Museum of Art that Karl Lagerfeld used a lot of art as inspiration in his fashion design. And even Lloyd and I have seen the exhibition Karl Lagerfeld, A Line of Beauty, and some of the beautiful artistic dresses that he has created. My opinion is that fashion is art whenever it is unique, whenever it is a creative product, an expression of the aesthetic sense, when it expresses emotions, it is specific to a specific culture and time, and it connects people. All attributes of art, and even it may express the spirit and the soul of the person, and it is a form of visual art. However, one may argue that some fashion is made in multiple copies, some dresses, even if they're with painted flowers and then they're sold. Yes, but initially they were created as an artwork and then they were reproduced, just like there may be a masterpiece painting when we look at the almond tree of Van Gogh, almond blossoms, and now I bought a reproduction to have in my home. And just like I have Lovers in Venice, the painting. So, with fine art, it is also possible to make reproductions. And so to say a little bit more whether art is fashion, I think fashion is visual art. It may be, as I said, an expression of creativity, development of aesthetic sense, connects people. In addition, just like art, it may help to manage stress, relieve anxiety, may create a positive mood, and reflects culture. And what is the definition of art? In the Oxford Dictionary, art is the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination. And therefore, if a fashion piece corresponds to this description, it can be very well considered art. And whether fashion is fine art, this is another question. If a dress is painted, hand-painted, over silk, why not fine art? I include a link to the wedding dress of Queen Elizabeth with so many beautiful flowers. I think it is truly fine art. According to the Stanford University resources, the meaning of art is a philosophical question, and there is no straightforward definition. And the definition of art is controversial in contemporary philosophy. Whether art can be defined is also a matter of controversy. And the philosophical usefulness of a definition of art has also been debated, and this shows why it is so difficult to say whether fashion is art. I would say that fashion can be art in ballet, and they are very intimately intertwined with the beautiful ballet costumes, which are truly unique works of art. And the New York City Ballet holds a fashion in its annual gala, also has fashion. And for example, flower crowns, which are a fashion accessory, may well be considered as art. They are all unique. They are expression of artistic abilities, and they are quite creative. They may create happiness, a positive mood, and beauty. And for example, we have seen such beautiful crowns with Lloyd at the Metropolitan Museum in the recent exhibition Sleeping Beauties. And so, for me, the very notion that famous art museums such as the Metropolitan Museum of Art or the Victoria and Albert Museum have a lot of art and fashion exhibitions is a statement that fashion is indeed art. And also the Metropolitan Museum of Art Fashion Gala, where each piece is unique. And so fashion may be considered art because the individual may make a statement and convey an idea without saying a word, such as visual art. However, as I mentioned, just like art has technical aspects, choosing the correct paints or learning the correct steps in ballet, which is not so much creativity but learning a skill, the same is with fashion. that you have to have fabric, certain seams, and a lot of technical details that are not so creative. And to give some examples of the views of artists and fashion designers, Andy Warhol indicated that fashion is more fashion than art, and John Galliano indicated that fashion is above all an art of change. And for example, Yves Saint Laurent also has a lot of art, such as some of the irises of Van Gogh and the sunflowers of Van Gogh in his designs. And so this was one part. The other part is I want to say how important ballet can be for people on the autism spectrum and for neurodivergent individuals. I have read several articles and it makes sense because autism spectrum disorders are expressed with social communication difficulties and repetitive behaviors. And ballet is a form of communication, an expression of emotions, and especially since people with autism have difficulty expressing their emotions, ballet is an excellent opportunity to express their emotions in a nonverbal way. Also, people with autism have a lot of sensory disturbances, which, in my opinion, through dancing ballet, may be balanced in a very physiological way. By listening to the music, being aware to the movements of your body. Also, people with autism have repetitive behaviors, which it seems may be positively modulated by dancing. Learning ballet requires a lot of repetitive behaviors. People that have seen ballet classes see how there are repetitive movements of the arms and the legs in certain positions. So perhaps learning these positions and doing them might alleviate other repetitive behaviors that people with autism have. And for example, some people with autism in articles that I read report that dancing ballet has helped them a lot in every area of their life. And so I think this is a very good form of dance therapy and it should be explored more because it is very physiological. And from my perspective, having studied the neurobiology of autism, I think this connects to the brain and the basal ganglia, which are involved in movement and also in repetitive behaviors, and parts of the cortex, the prefrontal cortex, the parietal cortex, the occipital, all of these areas in which there is imbalance of excitation and inhibition, and through dancing ballet and coordination of the movements, they can be modulated. This imbalance may be corrected in a physiological and fun way. So this is what my August Biomedical Artist newsletter is, to show some of the benefits of art for health and for wellness in humans. Thank you. Your comments are appreciated.